What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the blue color, playing as Kronos. His name is Mariano. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Hades. Is Dr. Evil. No, it's Kvoth. He's joined the dark side, but that's totally fine. The dark side is a valid side to fight on. Were the rebels in the right, or was the Imperial people, what's it called, the Republic, in the right? You let me know who you think. Like, I mean, in a way, being ruled over with an iron fist, so long as they're nice to you and they don't blow up your planets. Hang on, they blew up a planet, didn't they? So long as you don't blow up a planet, maybe it's fine. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm playing devil's advocate for the Sith. Anyways, onwards and upwards. We do have Kvoth. He is playing as Hades. This map is competitive mega random. This is the map that we're going to be playing the upcoming Divine Intervention tournament on. It's going to be starting January 30th or something like that, and that'll be the first round. And we're going to be having tons and tons of games going on. It's going to be a great time. Lots of random god action. And we are seeing, like, Mariano here. He is attempting to try out this Kronos god here. It's not a god you get to see very often. And he is going with Kronos up against arguably the top tier god at the moment. So we'll see how it ends up going as the chippity chopping of the Savannah tree going ahead. Relics being uncovered. We do have the arrows of the Alpha here, plus 20% building pierce damage. Elsewhere on the map, we do have some more relics being uncovered. The Pygmalion statue, a very, very strong relic here at plus 40% villager HP. Definitely a great one to be picking up, as we'll see what Mariano is going to be doing, because over the past, I don't know, let's call it 2 months or so, maybe 2 months, we've seen Soup, a Norse main, a proponent of very, very fun Norse builds, attempting to be as aggressive as he possibly can with really, really great economy behind it. He's been tampering with Kronos a bit, and he showed off that heroizing the Kronos oracles in the Archaic Age can really cause a lot of pain to a lot of different civilizations. Now, this map here might not be the best for it because the hunt is a little bit odd. He had 500 food in his main base, and then he's had to move over onto these aurochs. It's a big way to move. So he might not be finding this this map as easy as he might like to execute that sort of early game play. But Mariano will be finding the villagers on this hunt here, and he could decide to send his oracles over here if he so chose. There's 6 villagers here, pushing them off. That could be a very, very smart move here early game, but we'll see if that's something he wants to do, or if he wants to just play a little bit more standard, as we do see the temple coming up for Kvoth. Kvoth is very smartly, but not, I mean, in a way, he has smartly left the rhino, but in another way, he didn't see the rhino. So both things can be true at the same time. He didn't see the rhino, and then when it popped up, he decided, you know what, I'm going to save this one just so he gets a clean advance time. To some degree, it might look like he's going to go for a 345 here with one more villager after this, but he can drag this rhino in underneath the town center and not need to spend 50 wood on that one. Plus, he's probably going to be eating these boars by the time Mariano hits the next age. Mariano going up through Prometheus, a little bit late on the advance time, but that's because of the funky start here. It's definitely possible to be hitting a 430 with 500 food rhino start and having aurochs over here. The important thing to do is to be taking the villagers onto straggler trees here, sending them over to the berry bush as soon as you can, get the villager on goal to build the temple, and possibly also eat a cow after the temple is up. So you only get the bare minimum of stuff. Now, we still don't have that focus upgrade coming in. It does come through the economic guild if you choose, or you can get it through the temple as well, which is also fairly decent there as well. So we'll see how things are going to go as Athena coming through, the rhino being shot at. Oh no, you hate to see it. Rhino, come fight me. Come play with me. He's on the edge of his line of sight, so it does look like Kvoth will indeed need to drop down his granary. And nonetheless, as he does decide to do so. Now, the other thing here that is going to make Kvoth's life just a little bit tough, and he is choosing to make his life tough here. This is an absolute choice. We do see he's already decided to leave this position here as the oracles come through. The villagers are back home. The choice to make his life tough is he's choosing to go for 2 town centers here. And why is this hard for him? Why is this not necessarily the best idea in this specific matchup? Now, this is not Uranos versus Hades. This is Kronos versus Hades. Why is this tough? Well, answer is this gold mine over here, it's not exactly safe. He's going to be able to grab this town center. He's going to be able to put sentinels on it. But this gold mine is not exactly safe. Yes, it's close, but it's forward. And Mariano playing Kronos here, he's going to be able to hit a much, much stronger, and I'm talking significantly stronger heroic age than Uranos can. And why is that? It's because Kronos has got a 10% boost to myth unit speed, which ends up being a big deal for those satyr in the heroic age. So if Mariano is going to be able to make that work, we'll have to wait and see. We do see the Oracle here has picked up the arrows of the Alpha. Hasn't put it into the temple yet, but Kvoth is on the march. He knows this is in. He's got the heroes out, and Chiron and Ajax and a Minotaur with nothing up here for Mariano. He does have himself a military barracks up, but he has no mana just yet, as the Oracle's coming back and be bringing that Pygmalion statue in as well. That's going to push that village up to 224 HP as the Minotaur gets pulled back. That town center is not going to be going up anytime soon. Mariano going to start doing little bits of damage down onto those heroes with his Terma and everything else as the Minotaur comes through. Restoration coming down here for Kvoth, trying to keep the Minotaur alive, slowing this town center down as much as he possibly can. Getting huge amounts of value here out of these first 3 units that he's trained. And I don't know if Mariano can actually win this fight. There he goes. Heroizing that term is going to be a big, big help. The Minotaur is going to be going down. The town center is going to be coming up here. The oracles have gone down, but the classical age god power is gone for Kvoth. Kvoth gets his town center up first, but what does that really matter? We do see a mana coming down now here for Mariano, going with that time shift. Great micro here for Mariano, now bringing that citizen in. Going to be shanking the Katoskopos. This citizen has got so much HP, though, at 224. It's going to take a very long time to take this one out. And he does immediately garrison that into the mana, starts producing that town center up yet again. The damage is done, but how much damage has been done is the big question. Yes, the town center could have been up already, but Kvoth using restoration, that's a big, big mid-game power spike that Kvoth is not going to be having in this game anymore. So we'll see, will that early game pressure, will that usage of restoration be enough to give Kvoth the advantage in this game? Kvoth is eating these Aurochs in the middle of the map right now. He hasn't actually put down military buildings. There's his military academy coming up. No upgrades just yet either, but he is distracting nicely with this Chiron pulling away. Now, the Chiron moves at 5.5 speed, so he should get away without too much pressure onto that one. But I love this play here from Kvoth, distracting away from the villagers, allowing them to finish off this Auroch, potentially also eating the lion there as well. Wouldn't go astray as Kvoth into his main base. Still hasn't dropped the watchtowers yet. This is generally a very early upgrade that Hades players grab, but Kvoth a little bit out of sorts here in this game. No wall segments down on these towers either here, as the Mariano's coming in and he is stealing cows, ladies and gentlemen. He is stealing cows, but the villagers come over here and they say, no, not today, Sonny Jim. I'm going to drop in and out until I get my cows back, as the cows attempting to retreat in and out. Villagers pulling through, going to start shanking down. Kvoth knows how important these cows are in this game, as the town center still getting good damage done onto the Murmillos here. Cows still trying to get pulled away, but the tower is helping hold this one here as well. Watchtowers now coming through for Kvoth, as the villagers are being pulled off of this position as well. Back over here, Kvoth in a very, very weird position now. He manages to hold his cows. Mariano can't steal those away. Nice attempt there for Mariano, but not able to make it happen, as the town center is producing more and more citizen here. And we'll see what Mariano's next play is. Mariano here, he says, town center number 3 is the option. Now, one thing that I wouldn't mind seeing here is stopping Terma completely here, taking villagers off of wood, putting everyone onto food and gold. You can just build some Murmillo out if you want, but more importantly, get to the heroic age here. Also, check out what your opponent is building. If you see a military academy, don't build Terma, but build Chiroballister. Chiroballister are incredibly strong here for Kronos. Why are they strong for Kronos and maybe not so strong for Uranos and Gaia? Answer is that Kronos has got a unique bonus for his siege. It means that his Chiroballister, they're going to be moving with an extra 0.4 speed, which might not seem like a lot, but 4.24 speed means they can run away from hoplites. Hoplites move at 4. Wait, can I? Am I telling a lie here? Sometimes I lie. Hoplites move at 4.2 speed, so they can run away from hoplites, which ends up being a really big deal because Hades wants to build Hoplite Toxote in this matchup. Maybe he wants to build Hippocon as well, but a lot of players decide to play away from that unit for a variety of reasons. But it's a really, really good unit. And also, another thing is, if you mix into your army Murmillo heroes, a couple of Terma, you can actually speed walk those Cairo Ballista out of danger as well. So with really, really good control and knowledge of speed walking, that Cairo Ballista goes from a fairly low tier unit to like an S tier Kronos unit to be utilizing in that army to make things happen. So we'll see if Mariano is going to actually use it or not. Oftentimes, top players who play a lot of Uranus don't play a lot of Kronos. They're not really aware of how good and how much utility that unit can actually have. As Mariano pushes forward, an attempt to take out some villagers here. The villagers do pull back into the main base here as well. As Kvoth here, 70 population, playing defensively here. He's got his walls up on this gold mine. Now, we were talking about how this might be a bit of a defensive liability. Now, apparently in this game, it's looking like it's not going to be. But the next part of this game is this town center is out in the middle of nowhere. These gold mines are out in the middle of nowhere. And Kvoth is going to have to figure out how he's going to secure the next part of this game. It's the kind of Hades game plan. It's almost PvE in a way. It's that if you don't lose, you win with Hades. So how do you lose with Hades? You lose a gold mine, you lose a town center. So he's got to figure out how he's going to secure both. And luckily, this town center here does secure both. So he should be making some efforts over there onto that position. The other thing here is that Kvoth's scouting not really been the best in the world here. He is making some good progress with those Toxotes, but Kvoth's scouting not really been the best in this game. He should be trying to work out, is my opponent going for a fast heroic off of these 3 town centers or staying in the classical age? And then making a decision based off that for what sort of thing he's going to be doing instead. In this position here, it kind of looks like Kvoth is just blindly spamming units out without really knowing what his opponent's building. Now, in this situation, I think it's working out decently for him because Mariano's not going for the heroic gauge here. It would be very, very punishing to see heroic gauge at about 11 minutes and then 5 Satyr coming out with Gemino to boot. But that's not happening here. And Kvoth here is going to be searching around for something to kill. But what is he really going to be able to find is the big question here. Is we do see actually some Cairo Ballista coming out. Not too many, but just a handful. More military barracks coming down. Now Mariano is gearing up to continue securing the map. He's getting some walls up. I love seeing Atlantean players build walls. Not enough players build walls as Atlantean. This is such a big, big help for Atlantean players, because already their citizens are really, really chunky, really difficult to kill. But if you then add walls to it, now the raids just get absolutely shut down. As Kvoth coming into this position, the problem with Kvoth's army at this moment is he's only got 5 hoplites, so he can't bum rush this 2100 HP town center. The walls do come up. This wall will get torn down, and Kvoth is going to have to figure out how to get that one up. But while this is going on, Kvoth does manage to grab this town center in the words of Day 9. Attack and expand. It's a concept as old as the vintage RTS games like StarCraft 1. Goes back, you go and attack your opponent, you grab space on the map, you grab a town center, you put walls up into a corner, you secure the map left, right, and center as the game continues on. It's really, really important and a great strategic or RTS strategy as the citizen does end up getting taken down there. No attempted time shifting in a manner there, as you see yet again Mariano kind of forgetting that he's playing Kronos in a way. But this fight here starting up, those Cairo Ballista are going to be able to take down all of those medium hoplites. But after that goes down, those Toxotes, there's just too many there for him to fight. You need Satyr to take out the Toxotes of Hades here, in my opinion. And we are already seeing the Hyperion coming in. And look at the wood in the bank. 100 favor, wood in the bank. Mariano is ready here to spam those satyr out, and this is going to be the problem for Kvoth. This army, though, needs to be transitioned away from Terma, away from Cairo Ballista. You can keep a couple of Murmillo in there, but generally you want to get Destroyer, you want to get Arcus, and you want to get Satyr. That's the best way to play, easiest way to make a push happen. But Kvoth now, 3 town centers. He's in a great position. He's going to have this gold mine secured. I'd love to see some walls getting set up over on this position as well here while this game is continuing along. Why? Secure this gold mine, potentially also secure a trade route from this position up to this position. Wouldn't go astray. While this is all going on, it's just one of those things that is very, very tough to do in the moment. And I'm saying it as this is like the next level of Age of Mythology. It's really hard to make it happen. But if you can get that APM up there and make sure you're on top of those sorts of things, it can be really, really good. As Kvoth pushing in, pulling back. Mariano in a fantastic position at this moment. Let's take a look at his economic upgrades here as well. Hand axe, shaft mine, plow. The economy is pumping here for Mariano. Kvoth on the other side of the spectrum here, he's also got some decent upgrades as well. So it's not like he's that far behind. In fact, he's already clicked up through Aphrodite. So he's in a great position here. Setting up on this position, archery ranges coming up, military academies coming up. The Satyr are out now for Mariano though. As we see, he hasn't queued them up here. This is a mistake. It takes a while to get these out if you don't have 2 temples up. You want to be pumping them, but it looks like Mariano here, he's going for a Mythic Age. What is he going for? He's going for Atlas. So he wants that implode, and I'm not sure what he's going to get out of it, in all honesty. Implode's a great god power to go for, but I do think you want to get the pressure going first and then go implode. That way you can place that implode down, potentially kill off some villages, kill off some buildings, and also kill off the army. But we'll see how it's going to go, but look at this citizen. Pygmalion statue, hero citizen, 306 HP. As Curse gets dropped down onto this position, Kvoth's going to be using that to somewhat retreat here. He might try and surround this citizen before the palace goes off, but Kvoth knows all too well how fast those buildings go up and how slow it is to pick off a hero citizen, so he decides to not risk it there, retreating back. Mariano at this point here, he is at 50% Mythic Age. Kvoth over here, he's getting close to being able to click up, in all honesty. He's got 1,000 gold in the bank. He's just short on food, but that just means if he gets a market up, which he doesn't have just yet, he's going to start being able to buy food to get to that Mythic Age. At the moment, it's costing a little bit too much to make a value at 130, but you're probably still going to be wanting to do it. Nonetheless, as that food is starting to come through, we do see the villagers making their way over into the corner. 3 villagers coming here to get this market up. This is the most Atlantean thing I've ever seen. He wants the market up fast, but he doesn't want to invest too much, so he's like, 3 villagers. 3 villagers into that corner. Great idea. All right. Pushing forward, we do see the Satyr are now out. Kvoth needs heroes over here. Taking down those Satyr is really, really tough for the Greek team because they've only got 4 heroes, and these Satyrs start massing up in a really, really big way here. As Atlas pops in, the army of Kvoth is in the corner of the map. He's split up. He doesn't need to worry about this implode that much because it's not going to be max value. You can only pick up a couple of units over here, pick up a couple of units over here. But archery range is coming up in this corner. Why? Gastrophedy raid. I love this play from Kvoth, already setting up to hit this town center with Gastrophedy is going to be a really, really big help for him. But Mariano is concentrating his efforts in onto this position. Can he make this work is the big question. Now, the thing is, I think potentially hitting this left side of the map is going to be a bigger help. This gold line's almost expired anyways. Attacking the left side of this town center also shuts down this top position somewhat as well, but alas, not happening just yet, as Mariano is still holding off on clicking that implode, as Kvoth is now clicked up to the next stage, and he decides Hephaestus here. Hephaestus, the god of choice. We'll see if this is going to work out. Sometimes when you're behind your opponent, going Hephaestus isn't enough to help you keep yourself in the game. You kind of need to get that Artemis, and you need to click that god power. You need to get that immediate value out of Earthquake. But other times when you're kind of even, and Hephaestus is the better option. But at this point, Kvoth is quite a ways behind Mariano in this game, and also the implode getting dropped down here as Kvoth says, I'm going to try and retreat away. He does return back the other direction. Can he get out of here? A lot of these units getting dragged in, and they do not make it out of this implode at all. More units getting sucked in, and there's that implode drop down. Kvoth drops down to 120 population. He is in a very, very difficult position, but the units still over on this position might want to get dragged back, as we are starting to see. I like this usage of the map here. We didn't talk about this map spawn at all in this game, but the middle of the map is just barren, and there's just trees there helping kind of wall off the map, so to speak, and Kvoth is taking advantage of that nicely as the army of Kvoth trying to hit this town center. I'm not going to do a whole lot here. Mariano on top of his garrison micro there, keeping his units alive. As Mariano's starting to push in. Look at this. 5 Satyr on the prowl here, trying to push through. We got the Fire Siphon coming in. That's going to get a little bit of damage done. We see the Palace coming in onto this position here, as well as Kvoth's position here is in a very, very difficult spot. Hephaestus is going to pop. He's going to be getting himself the Colossus, but I mean, Colossus versus Argus. The Argus unfortunately did fall there, so it's not going to be too easy to take that one out as Toxotes starting to come in. Kvoth trying to get himself out this Chiron, but look at these Mariano Sati. He doesn't have his upgrade just yet, but is he going to get it? Wait, that's Kvoth. I want Mariano. He is getting Gemino, and once he gets Gemino, these spears that he gets from the special go from, 3 spears up to 6 spears, I believe. You get 6 spears from these Satyr. It's absolutely insane. As, look at that, the Chiron comes in. You have to run away. We do see the Murmillo coming in to shank down as well. As the town center of Kvoth going to be going down, but look at this up the top corner of the map here. Look at this up the top corner. Kvoth is ready to build those gas graffiti. He does need to get himself... Holy Satyr, just absolutely massacring Kvoth here. Kvoth does need to get himself, first and foremost, Forge of Olympus, and then he needs to get Burning Pitch before he starts making those gas graffitis. And look at this. Mariano is way too smart. He's got the Palace coming up on this position. If he cleans this up as well, he can then time shift it in to a better position as well if he so chooses here, as he's also got an option of time shifting in onto this position here as well. He doesn't really have the economy just yet. He's starting up a trade route going from the corner of the map beautifully here up to this town center to boot. Great decision making there from Mariano as well. As Kvoth retreating away, he's in a very, very difficult position. All of these farms getting pushed off, the gold mine getting pushed off, but it's already expired. Kvoth's still going to be able to fight here. Time and time again, we've seen Hades players being able to fight back against Atlanteans off of 2 town centers. The game is not over once the Mariano Atlantean grabs this town center. Maybe once he gets it up, it's looking to be a little bit more difficult. But if Kvoth can get stabilized here, take out a town center. He is going after this town center nicely as it's getting torn down by 1 Colossus. We do see the villagers coming through. There are a handful of hero citizen here as well, or a hero citizen here that's going to be able to shank down that. Not too difficult, without too much difficulty there. But the home town center of Kvoth now starting to get destroyed here. As the Fire Siphon gets cleaned up, the Destroyers coming through as well here, though. That's going to be another difficulty. These are champion Destroyers to boot. 217 HP of pure destruction here for Mariano, as he's going to be taking this fortified town center down. And we'll see how things are going to go as more units going to be piling in here. As the Heliopolis coming through though for Kvoth, and this is where the units start getting a little bit scary here for Kvoth, for Mariano, excuse me. Heliopolis, Hoplites, Toxotes, Town Center still getting repaired back up. 3 Fire Siphons onto this position. One upgrade that Mariano is severely missing here in this game is Engineers. He does not have Engineers here. If he had Engineers, he probably would have killed this Town Center. Town Center lives with 100 HP. Why? Because he would have had more range, would have started attacking earlier. Town Center would have gone down. Is Mariano getting it? Answer, not just yet. But is he getting this Town Center up is the question. Still not going for it. Kvoth on the other side here. He does have a handful of villagers over here. I wouldn't mind seeing an archery range getting dropped down in the corner here. He's got 1 and potentially a gas graffiti to come out to start getting that, forcing those problems. But Kvoth loses the town center. Mariano's rampage in this game is not ending anytime soon. He's breaking this down. He's killed town center off. Kvoth's got 1 town center remaining. He does have this plenty vault on this position though, which means he's still got that little bit more population than you might think here in this game. But 130-ish population for Kvoth versus Mariano's 160 population. That's a big problem there for him to deal with. However, these Heliopoli are just breaking through those fire siphon beautifully. There's no melee units here right now for Mariano. He needs to reconsider what he's building here. Stop building so many of those Arcus in this position. Start considering how he's going to get this town center up and moving forward in this game. He's sitting at 140 of 160 population as Kvoth's Heliopoli have managed to push through here, which means Kvoth can now grab his town center back. And Mariano is on the backwards foot here. We'll see what Mariano's next position is going to be. Does he just accept losing a little bit of ground here and start pushing up on this position? I like that play because look at this for Kvoth. Kvoth has got this gold mine here. He's got this gold mine back here as well, but there's nothing on the front of this town center. With engineers, the fire siphon are going to be able to control this position and take this town center down. So swapping the field of battle would not go astray here at all. That being said, Kvoth's Heliopoli do need to be answered here for Mariano, and there are options to deal with the Heliopoli. Option number 1 is engineered fire siphon. Option number 2 is catapulti. And option number 3 is just building yourself as many melee units as you possibly can and stop building those Arcus. I've done the test on this. This army composition here that Kvoth has built, Toxotes, Heliopoli. The answer is effectively mass cavalry. Mass cavalry beats this army. That's the only thing. But you can't just send one cavalry in at a time. You need to go into a full tech switch, into cavalry, surround this army, give it a big bear hug, and you're going to be able to clean it up. That's the answer here for literally every civilization. Even ISIS and Set to some degree can make themselves mass cavalry against this. There are a handful of hoplites which do kind of need an answer, but you can kind of ignore those while the siege are getting taken down. But Kvoth breaking through here at this point as Mariano up here. We still haven't seen these buildings getting utilized here from Kvoth. Unfortunately, hasn't managed to sneak out the walls here to make the Gastrofidi raids onto this position. But look at the upgrades now coming through for Kvoth. He's at full bronze. Mariano at this point, he's not at full bronze. So Mariano's unit quality here is suffering quite a bit. He's not been able to spend his resources where he needs. His trade route is starting to get big though. He's got a very nice trade route to boot, 83 gold here. Kvoth on the other hand, he's got his own trade route or market started, but he can't really build a trade route at the moment. He needs to get his town center back, so he is on a timer here. That timer is gold mines. This gold mine here is open. This one, to some degree, is open. He needs to send something to clear out the buildings on it. But if Kvoth can grab this gold mine, it gives him another couple of minutes here to push back through all of this stuff. But both players just making siege. Archers here, trying to micro here as best as they can. But look at this. As soon as the Arca starts focusing down the Heliopolis, it just ends up being a silly thing to deal with. As now we see Kvoth swinging over here. He sees the town center coming up. Mariano's palace is in position here, but we'll see if Mariano can hold here or not. As a wall coming up for Mariano. I like this wall. Instead of using the obvious wall, he's saying, you know what, from this position up to this position, it's a long wall, but it's a good wall, as he's going to make that happen there nicely. And now we see the Gastrofidi are out, but no burning pitch. There it is. Burning pitch coming in. I love to see it. These are the most annoying units in the game. Look at the damage they do pre-burning pitch and then post-burning pitch. These Gastrofidi are so incredibly strong here. As look at this. It's doing like, what is that, 10 damage a shot? And then burning pitch comes in. Bam. And it goes to, I can't look at that, 30 damage a shot or 40 damage a shot. I can't tell. It just does so much damage. But Mariano's already in hot pursuit. He's going to be dealing with this. But we do see the Gastrofidis here from Kvoth here targeting those Arcus down smartly, as he's going to be able to then take out the palace, potentially also take out the fire siphon. Do they do a little bit of crush damage? They do a little bit of crush damage as well, so they'll be able to take out the fire siphon nicely there. But while that push is coming in, Mariano's able to push it just a little bit back here, as the town center is now free to get taken yet again here for Mariano. He does send the champion destroyer and has to deal with that sentinel, but the palace is down. The fire siphon going to be getting cleaned up here as well. And what is... there we go. There's a great answer. Medium Contarius coming through. Would love to see some more walls coming down for Mariano to stop all potential of all potential of side build shenanigans here from Kvoth. As the villagers retreating back here. Marcus going to be trying to get a little bit of damage done as well. As those Arcus going to clean the majority of this stuff up, you'd have to say. And, oh, Chaos. He uses Chaos. That's one way to answer the call of the Gastrophedi. But funnily enough, once the Gastrophedi are taken out, well, apparently Kvoth is going to deal with that for Mariano here. But once the Gastrophedi were taken out, they actually would have hit the... they would have hit the town center yet again. But nonetheless, we'll see what the plan is here as one tower does get taken down. These buildings getting taken down. Kvoth pushing through here as well to grab that position there. Villagers getting pulled off the food yet again. Kvoth here, 130 or 140 population. He's been pushed back, trying to make this side build work, but Mariano's doing a great job. Now starting to drop time-shifted watchtowers in here. This is a big, big help for the forward pushing here. Mariano making this work as now all of those Heliopolis have been dealt with. As the town center, 560 HP remaining here. Fire Siphon gets taken down. Fire Siphon rolling in here for Mariano as well. He still hasn't grabbed this town center. Look at the economy here of Mariano. Part of the problem here for Mariano is that he doesn't have the population space for the economy to build this town center. He almost needs more economy to get this town center, but also having that economy is going to be a problem as well. As we see, now Kvoth says, you know what, instead of killing this town center off and trying to break through all of these palaces and defend here, I'm going to try and kill off your town center. But the town center over here does end up getting taken down here. Great play from Mariano managing to pick this one off, but does he have what it takes to defend against this? The Heliopolis getting pulled back. There's still Gastrophedi here as well. There's no other unit. There are a couple of hoplites actually up here for Kvoth to deal with those citizens. And look at this. The Heliopolis, they actually take out the citizen fairly quickly as well here. Look at the damage. It's actually fairly big as the hoplites come through, going to clean up those citizens. Can Kvoth kill this town center off before this town center goes up, reclaim his own town center, and maybe flip this position nicely as there's too many buildings surrounding this plenty vault for the time being here, as the watchtower does end up getting taken down. And we do see the citizen getting cleaned up here. Heliopolis trying to take everything down as well to boot. And look, there's the plenty vault being stolen. What you can actually do here is you can time shift military buildings onto an enemy plenty vault, and eventually you can take it for yourself. At the moment here, this plenty vault's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish, maybe 8, 7-ish buildings protecting it. So you can start time shifting buildings down, and once you get more than your opponent, potentially take out some of those granaries or something, you can claim it for yourself, and that's a huge advantage for yourself where that's concerned. But now Kvoth has cleaned this town center up. Kvoth is moving up with his villagers. He wants to take this town center. He knows that this gold mine is here. He knows how good a trade route from this top position or this bottom position here up to here is going to be for him, as Mariano's still trying to break through here as the town center has been cleaned up. Houses are going to go down though. Mariano's economy is starting to look very, very good. He's got this town center up. He's still 3 town centers. However, the army of Kvoth, he's going for a base trade. He's going for a base race, and the Hades army is significantly better. Even though the Kronos has got that siege bonus, the Hades army is significantly better at breaking through buildings than Kronos is, and that's partly because Hades has also got a building boost to boot behind it all. Let's take a look at their building upgrades. He's got himself Titan Shield. He's got himself Architects. He's got himself Fortified Towns. There's 3,640 HP there for that town center, but it will go down very, very fast. Mariano realizes what's happening here, and he says, no worries. I can move around the map easily as well. He's going to grab this town center here. He's going to try and grab this Plenty Vault. This is a big bonus here for Mariano in this game. If he can take this Plenty Vault for himself, I'm not sure Kvoth's decision here is the best decision in the world, as the Heliopolis going after this town center to boot. He's grabbed this gold mine. And now he's pulling back away from here. Mariano does utilize that deconstruction onto this position as Kvoth's fortress. He needs to throw it back down. This town center going up. More buildings going to get taken down on this position. I'd still love to see some time-shifting shenanigans coming through here for Mariano, but he's not going for it. The home town center of Mariano now going down. Mariano wasn't paying attention here, in all honesty. Has not been repairing that one back up. It's too little too late. Mariano going to lose this town center. He's going to drop down to 2 town centers apiece. Kvoth is going to be equalizing here for a moment, but Mariano gets this town center back up in time. He's going to maintain that 3 town center to 2 town center lead in this game as the temple does get taken out there. Fire Siphon pushing through. The hoplites are out though to deal with these Fire Siphon nicely. It's a good idea. You can also build some Prodromus here if you so choose, but it's probably better to just continue to make those upgraded hoplites for the time being here. As the palace going down here as well. Mariano trying to rebuild another palace here to hold this position as the infantry come through. Going to push this one back. More buildings coming down on this position here for Kvoth. This Plenty Vault still has not been claimed. Obviously, Mariano is thinking, how do I claim this one? He's trying, but he has to kill off the buildings. But he's lost all of his forces here. Now Kvoth can push back. He's allowed Mariano to push into him. There's nothing left over here. He's going to push back and see if he can grab this town center back. If he can, he's going to be in a fantastic position here. A fortress coming down on this position. The army here for Mariano. No siege in this army, but the infantry units, they might be enough here. The catapult is only doing 7.5 damage a second. It's not the best here, but he might be able to take this down. Fortress going to be coming up. That's going to be enough to hold on there. The Heliopolis pushing through here, trying to take this down. Mariano not securing this Plenty Vault. It's not secured this town center, and now the Gastrophetes are back in, and Kvoth has moved, shaken, twisted, twirled Mariano around on his finger in this game. Can he get this town center back? Can he hold this town center up? Is the big question here. As the Murmillo going after this position, there's nothing left over here. We do see a Champion Arcus going after this gold mine. Remember, Kvoth is on that timer. He needs to get a trade route started and set up. Does he start it? Not just yet. I don't think he started it just yet, no, but he's secured this location. He's going to attempt to push through here, attempt to get back in onto this location here. The villagers pulling out here, trying to repair this location back up here as the villagers come through to shank down that Fire Siphon. The Fire Siphon does have engineers here now, so 15 range is a big deal as the Murmillo coming through here as well. We'll see how things are going to go, as now we do have the Gastrophetes coming in onto this position to help out. We'll see how things are going to go there as the villagers starting to move forward here, grabbing that town center and seeing what he can do there. It's now the Fire Siphon starting to target down this fortified town center as well. Military Academy up now for Kvoth. As we see Kvoth trying to fight his way back in, but where to next is now Kvoth. He's lost this town center yet again. He's trying to get his home town center back up, but he's just not able to find that 3 town center apiece position that he so desperately needs in this game. He's almost got it, but as he gets it, he loses it as well. There's no buildings left over here that Kvoth's got. He's on the back foot here. He can continue to fight here. He's still got gold in the bank. He still has a handful of golds here. This is kind of his last gold mine, though, at 2,500 gold. This one up in the corner here, 4,400 gold mine. It's kind of there, and if he can push in and grab that, it's going to be great for him. But he's spread so thin in this game. As Kvoth pushes forward with his Gastrophete, going to try and take out these palaces and everything and clean up into this corner. He's got to start thinking about trade route here. He's only got 9 villagers on the food. And I mean, it makes perfect sense. He's got everyone on wood, everyone on gold, because he's only basically building a handful of hoplites here. He's no longer building villages. And this is another problem. He is building some villages, but this is a problem for him, that he's only got 9 villagers on food, because he needs to continue keeping that villager count high, because it's not like he's not losing villagers in this game. Now, Mariano starting to utilize the palace time shift function. This is so strong. Deconstruction coming down onto this position as well is going to allow these units to push forward beautifully. The storehouse getting taken down, slowing down that gold income there. Fanatics coming in to raid this position with that deconstruction, finishing up here. This position is completely naked, and look at Kvoth's gold. 87 gold in the bank. He's at 145, 140 population at the moment, but he's about to lose these Heliopolis. He does get a big shade reinforcement here. His temple was taken down. Units have been getting taken out. This is what happens with Hades once you lose the temple. We generally frown upon deleting your temple, but there's no way to play around to prevent this in the actual code of Age Mythology. So it's fine, but if you don't rebuild the temple and you just let it not come back up, you're going to be able to get those Hades shades out with a big force, and they come through and they do help out. The other thing is, if you had the temple up, he would have been getting Hades shades continuously and probably would have been just as helpful as Kvoth's town center now getting under siege yet again. He's still getting that gold income, but he needs to push through and he needs to get this position under lock and key and then get this town center here. As the Gastrophetes have stopped this town center from going up. The Hades Shades breaking through here. But yet again, Mariano, he's pushed back around. He's swung back around. He says, you know what? I'm going after this town center again. And he's absolutely right. Continue to take the town centers of Hades out here. Slowly but surely dwindle Kvoth's will to live in this game down. Look at the resources for Mariano. He's now very much in the driver's seat here in terms of buildings. He can time shift all across the map. He can pump palaces down everywhere. He's got to somehow deal with those Hades shades here though, and everything else, as his army on this position not going to be all that much of a help here. Unless he can take the town center down, which, I mean, he might be able to. But the Heliopolis is coming in to start sieging down that fire side from there. A couple of champion catapulties coming in. The only reason he's building champion catapulties in this game, ladies and gentlemen, is to kill off siege. They do terribly against the hoplites. They do terribly against the toxotes. They do terribly... They might do okay against the Gastrophetes, I'm not sure. But they get a huge bonus against siege, 150% bonus. So they're doing not 8 damage per second, not 16 damage per second, but 20 damage per second, right? 20 damage per second there. So it's a lot more than a Murmillo. Though that being said, there is an argument that having the Murmillo just not need to be microed is more valuable than anything else, because this is doing 12.8, so it is a significant difference. But is it all that much? As the villagers now trying to get this fortress up, Kvoth knows that he needs to hold this position. Villagers here about to be under pressure here as the fortress gets started, but the burning pitch arc is here too much for this fortress here, it might seem, but looks like with the help of everything else coming through, does manage to deal with that. Town center just about to come back up. Kvoth, he needs villagers on food here. He needs to start a trade route. He needs to get this town center up or put the market up in this corner and trade from there down to here as an option. As the palace is up here, villagers coming through onto this position here. Mariano still with lots of resources in the bank. The Titan Gate will be coming through here. I don't think he needs to do this. This is going to hurt his economy quite a bit. Maybe it's fine because he's got so many resources in the bank, but time shifting buildings into locations and hitting this gold mine is everything at this point, as the fortress trying to get repaired back up. I guess there's no real way here for Kvoth to afford to get himself a Titan Gate here. So this Titan Gate is going to force Kvoth out of the game here, deciding to not continue. I don't think he's quite lost here, but he's losing this. Actually, you know what? I think he is. He's out of position on this position here. He doesn't have the units to defend here. He's going to lose all these villagers, and he just does not have the food to reproduce those villagers and continue. Losing these gold villagers means losing the gold, means losing the game at this position, because he just could not get secured here and get that trade route started. I mean, if he just had the trade route slowly trickling, one caravan every minute or so, he probably would have had the resources to continue in this game. Just going from this position here to here even wouldn't have gone astray. But Mariano, what a game here. It's so tough to kill Hades. It's so tough. And Mariano just continually putting the pressure on, rotating, like following Kvoth's army around nicely and just deciding, I'm going to attack over here, I'm going to attack over here, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Really nice game here from Mariano, showing that, you know, with enough effort and skill, you can find some wins here. Kronos versus Hades. Great play from Mariano. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.